What is going on, everybody? It's the Front, and we're back again with another Elestrals and video. This time going over the live stream update. We got a big one here. They say the biggest announcement ever. Let's see what's going on here.
The last few months of building Elestrals have been some of the most challenging months I've ever endured in my professional career. And this video is going to take you on a little journey peeling back some of the process and some of the challenges that we faced over the last few months related to tariffs and global challenges, and what we're doing moving forward that I believe is going to set the stage for the future of Elestrals and what I think is our biggest and most impactful announcement video to date. So with that intro behind us, let's just dive in.
What you got for us, man?
A few months ago, the global trade and geopolitical landscape changed forever when the tariffs changed significantly. For those who don't know, the majority of the Elestrals products are manufactured in China. China is a hub for trading card game manufacturing because they have the unique tooling and specifications to be able to deliver these products at a cost that is feasible, especially for a newer company like ours. Producing in the United States is not really feasible because of the challenges in terms of the competition utilizing that avenue and pathway to success, the cost being incredibly high, the minimum order quantities being much higher, and truthfully just the wait times being significant. I had looked into US manufacturing many years ago, and ultimately you're looking at 2-3+ year waits, massive minimum order quantities, and incredibly high prices to be able to manufacture with the few plants that actually do produce here in the United States. At their highest, the tariffs were 145%, which meant that anything that we bought in China, we were then paying the same cost of that plus another 45%. It was crazy. It legitimately cost our business hundreds of thousands of dollars in tariff fees, and fortunately we're still chugging along, but a lot of small businesses were impacted in a massive way because of this, and this situation forced me to think about everything about Elestrals and everything that we're creating. The tariff situation has definitely gotten better, as now it's sitting at 30% for products manufactured in China and brought into the United States. And just to peel back the curtain a little bit, the way this works is, again, the company that's manufacturing it, us, that's paying China to make it, we're the ones who are paying the tariff fee when it arrives here in the United States, and we have to bring it in, which is why you're seeing increased costs across the board. You're seeing delays in the industry, all these different challenges, because a ton of the trading card game companies are manufacturing overseas, and we're getting hit with insane fees. So even though it's
Someone just said people shouldn't be manufacturing all of them in one hub. Maybe we should spread the hubs out. Maybe there should be other places. I'm just saying.
settled down now, I think we can all agree that there's always a chance that it changes again. It could go back up tomorrow for all I know. And that volatility is not something that I feel confident and working around moving forward. Now, when I say the last few months have been stressful, that is really an understatement. I feel like I've gotten more than a few grays in my head because of all of these challenges, because I'm looking at my business, this passion project that I've created of Elestrals, and I'm seeing it basically turned upside down in front of me in real time, and I'm forced to deal with things that I have no control over, trying to navigate these challenging waters. But for me, I'm the kind of person who, when I face with a challenge, I look for a solution. I don't like to sit around and
Which makes why he's been successful in everything that he does. Is that every time he gets a challenge, he looks for a solution. And 9 times out of 10, I think someone like him has been able to overcome these challenges.
wait and see what's going to happen. So immediately once the tariffs hit, and even prior to the tariffs, I had already been working with some other Chinese manufacturers to find a lower cost solution to offset some of the challenges that we're faced with tariffs. My thought is, if I can find a lower cost manufacturer, it'll absolve some of the costs with the tariffs being increased on top. But listen, changing manufacturers is not an easy process. Elestral's only been around for 3 years, and
they've done that already, and the last time actually delayed going from Kickstarter to set 1, so much so that by the time we got to set 1, everyone was all done with set 1. And quite honestly, when set 1 came out officially, Elestrals was so far down on people giving a crap, it wasn't even funny. We had to get to set 2 before it really started picking back up. So let's be honest, you have one set for an entire year plus an entire year plus. Everyone's already figured out the metagame. Everyone's figured out what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't work, and you had nothing coming that was changing that in set 1. So I was there. I remember that time. I didn't play much of Elestrals at all, or even thought much of Elestrals until set 2 came around, because it was like there really wasn't anything there. There was nothing different. No cards were changing. No, in fact, nothing was changing. It was just a whole year and then some of the same 150 some cards.
We've only had cards released for about 2, and I'm already on 4 different print manufacturers. It is not fun. Every single time you try a new manufacturer, you have to go through all the specifications again. You have to go through insane amounts of documentation, calls, all sorts of conversations to try to get the specifications right. And the problem is you can't actually see it in real time because producing tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of units of something isn't even feasible because the cost is so high. So when you do a sample, you're really only doing like 50 or 100 of something to see if it's going to work. But even that's not a true representation of creating a product that ultimately gets made for the masses. And let's not forget about the fact that while I've had some great partners in China, there is a language difference and there is some challenges that come with that in terms of communication and specs and trying to get things nailed down exactly right. And you guys have seen, we've had quite a variation in terms of our quality. And while I think our quality now is really good, I still think there's room for improvement. And you guys know, I'm a perfectionist. I want to get this just right. So here I am in the middle of a global trade war with tariffs through the roof. Every single company is scrambling, trying to figure out, can I move my production to Vietnam? Can I move it to this other place? Where am I going to find my production? And I'm like looking around, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Very much so a fish out of water. But somehow, some way, I stumbled across what I believe is the perfect solution. Not just the perfect solution, but a solution that is going to take Elestrals to an entirely different level. As I mentioned earlier, producing in the United States was never an option for us. Every time I had tried, there was multiple year wait periods, there was massive minimum order quantities that we weren't able to meet, the costs were insane and unable to reach for us as a new company, and it just wasn't an option for us. However, somehow, some way, in the midst of everyone trying to figure out their manufacturing, I was able to link up with the best U.S. manufacturer.
Let's go.
R.R. Donnelley.
Let's go.
R.R. Donnelley is an industry leader in marketing, printing, packaging, and supply chain solutions, and they're located right here in the United States, baby. I got linked up with their head of production, and they instantly saw what Elestrals was all about. They too were looking for a long-term partnership to establish, not just for the next year or two, but for the next 10 plus years. A partner that we can truly rely on and grow the business with and get our quality locked down. Now, I'm not allowed to mention the other card games that they produce, but let's just say you know who they are, and they produce the best and biggest trading card games in the world, bar none. This team has more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Pokemon's English cards are made here. Just made here.
Experience on trading card game manufacturing than I would imagine anyone in the world. While I've had some success with our Chinese partners in the past, and I have a lot of respect for how they've helped us build our game, it has been night and day working with the United States team that is locked and loaded. I flew down to the factory, I did a full tour, I was greeted by 10 employees who were there to walk us through every single stage of the project, walking us through exactly how they produce the cards, how they pack everything, how everything is done in this incredible facility. And again, night and day doesn't even fully describe how incredible this process is.
It also helps when you have people you can just fly there. Like even if he spoke Chinese, that's still over on the other side of the world. So you wouldn't be able to sit there and just go, well, I'm gonna pick up a plane ticket, I'm gonna go to China, I'm gonna go check out the facility. You probably don't want to do that. Being able to fly or travel in the States to this facility to see this stuff in action. He could even do a tour maybe one of these times of showing the cards and being made. This is great to hear. Great news.
Has been for us. So that's that. The big announcement. Elestrals in Set 6 LifeStream is indeed moving to United States manufacturing. This is crazy. Great. And I'm going to explain why it's so crazy, because there's a ton of improvements coming to our products that are going to blow your mind, and they're going to set the stage for Elestrals to become one of the biggest trading card games in the entire world. By producing in the United States, not only do we have better communication and better product quality, but we have the experience of this team that has been manufacturing the top trading card games in the world for decades now. We'll see improved print quality and clarity. We'll see.
There's another thing too, is like we've had those mess ups from Set 2 to Set 5 where you'll have a misprint, or like what we had the what is it, the Aerowat. Before, you have to call up and get the people on the line and try and communicate everything. Now, if he has a misprint like that or a mess up like that, he can fly down to this manufacturer himself and be like, hey, this happened. We can't have this happen. Can we fix this? I love this.
Crisper text and visuals on our cards, more vibrant colors, and ultimately better quality assurance across the board. I was able to try out 7 different card stocks to nail down exactly what I wanted out of Elestrals.
Another great thing is that he was able to go there instead of having card stock sent to him to where he gets to feel it up and everything, test everything out. He can actually go there and have it done immediately instead of like, okay, they're gonna send it to me. I have to wait a couple weeks, go through customs and everything. This just seems so much more of an improvement because it's being done locally.
So you'll be able to get those beautiful thick Elestrals cards that are a little stiffer than our current card stock that are going to be incredible. And I'm really optimistic that this is going to reduce some of the pringling and hollow cupping that we get with some of our cards when they're left out in different conditions. We're going to continue to have custom hollow foils with our insignias put into them. And we're going to reduce the risk of copyright issues where manufacturers are producing our game illegally, because the reality of it is when you're sending your stuff across the world and they're producing it, there's the chance of counterfeits, and that's a risk that we are going to remove from the table by going to a lockdown facility here in the United States. One of the unsung heroes of this conversation is that our production times speed up drastically. No longer does our product need to sit on an ocean boat to travel from China to the United States for almost 2 months. Instead, it's going to be manufactured right here in the United States and be able to get taken right to our fulfillment centers directly. There's a handful of advantages that actually come from that, and one of the most important ones is that we're going to be able to produce our sets a little later than we previously would. It's called a lead time. So rather than having a 7-month lead time where I'm producing something and sending it to print 7 months in advance, now it's more like a 3 or a 4-month lead time, which means we have 3 or 4 more months to make better decisions about our game, take in feedback from players, adjust our game if needed, and ultimately create the best game possible. We reduce our risk from global market conditions, we reduce our risk from weather challenges like monsoon season and extended holidays like the Chinese New Year, which take manufacturing off the table for almost a month. If there's ever an issue, I can hop on a plane and I can be at the factory in just a few.
I literally just said that. That's the thing. Instead of having to call or get a hold of his publisher to make a call to get something fixed, hop on a plane and go see it yourself.
Few hours and ultimately make sure we get everything just right. I'm actually going to be flying down in a few weeks to do our official press check for LifeStream to make sure that the colors and everything look exactly how we want. What makes this even more amazing is that by moving our production into the United States with R.R. Donnelly, we will be able to be at the cutting edge of trading card game technology, and there's some big changes and improvements coming with LifeStream. Before I dive into all of the awesome things coming with LifeStream and the changes that are going to take place, I want to share a personal anecdote that I am filled with so much pride that we're going to be able to move our manufacturing into the United States. I'm super optimistic about the quality. I'm super optimistic about the rock solid team that they have that has decades of experience and has navigated every problem in the trading card game industry that you could possibly run into. And ultimately, I'm just proud in general. I grew up here. I know the United States isn't perfect, but I'm proud to be an American, and I'm very excited that we're going to be able to produce trading cards on our soil and be able to make the best game possible. The only negative in this equation is that it costs us more money. That's just the reality of it. Producing in the United States.
That's going to happen, but I would say the whole thing of it is starting with China is fine because it helps you get him on his feet, get his company going. But now that he's got the equity, hopefully, like put back into it, he can now afford to be able to go out there and get to the printing in the United States. This is great.
It's cost us basically double to make the same product, but the quality is going to show for it, and it's going to ultimately be worth it. Because of this price increase for us to manufacture in the United States, there are going to be some changes to our core products, but ultimately I do believe they're going to be a net positive for our players and ultimately result in a better opening experience. So let's talk about those changes. Our booster boxes have historically been 36-pack booster boxes with an MSRP of $129.99.
And we stop.
I decided that I want to keep the MSRP at $129.99 because I feel like above that, you start to get out of the reach of many players. However, we are going to be shifting our booster boxes from 36 packs down to 24 packs. So you are losing a third of the box, which is a huge deal.
Honestly, in my opinion, that's fine because I did open one booster box from set 1 when I got my free booster box last year. And I'm going to be honest, like halfway through, I was just getting repeat card after repeat card after. I was just getting so many of the same cards. I think 24 will cut down on repeating. A lot more people will be able to get out there and buy more, obviously, I think. But yeah, I think 24 is a much, much better number.
And I totally get that. But we've made some big changes that I think are actually going to make the opening experience much better.
By the way, this art is sick. And that's Dionysus, right? Who was the other one? Oh, ooh, that's the other one. The book
Each of
came
our
out.
10 card packs are going to have a common removed from them, and that is going to be replaced with a reverse holo slot in our main
Let's
sets.
go.
Every single pack will now contain a holographic, and that reverse holo slot can be a
It's about time.
holo common, a holo uncommon, or a reverse holo rare. So you have an opportunity to obtain more holographics across the sets, and ultimately we're reducing the amount of bulk that you're going to get by pulling out some of those common cards. Our pull ratios are going to remain the same in terms of our holographics. We generally communicate 1 in 3 packs contains a holographic. However, we made some other shifts as well outside of the reverse holo slot that are going to make the experience even better. We're moving to a proper randomized distribution experience, which means that the clumping that you experience in packs and the mapping that experience in boxes.
That was the issue with set one, obviously, was that there was so much clumping. I would get, like, set one, you'd pull open a pack, and you would get all the stadiums in one pack. Why am I getting all the stadiums? Open another pack, get more stadiums. Open another pack, get more stadiums. It's like, what are we doing?
And all that stuff that ultimately many of you guys maybe not notice, but we do, will hopefully be solved by the fact that we're going to have an extensive production line that will ultimately result in a proper randomized experience. One of the staples of our booster box experience is a full art, and I'm excited to announce that the full art ratio has been bumped to accommodate this new pack experience. So you'll actually find full arts at a higher rate than before, and you might even find some booster boxes that have 2 full arts in them. So that's going to be really exciting. Again,
Nice.
properly random distribution, so it's going to be a much better experience. I know when I open a bunch of booster boxes, by the time I hit my full art and my spirit, a lot of the times there's not really much else to chase unless you're going to get a stellar. So
Yeah.
now you'll have the opportunity to open up the box and
That's what it was like when I got mine. I got my booster and I opened it up. I don't remember, like, I'm pretty sure I got my holo like halfway through, like my full art halfway through, and it was just like, just go through these, go through these, go through these, see what I get.
actually have the chance of more hits overall. Oh, and we're moving our holo spirits into the reverse holo slot, so those are no longer going to take the spot of a special spot in the box. They're also not going to take the spot of your hits either. And reverse stellars are also moving into the reverse holo slot, so now you'll be able to hit a reverse stellar and a full art in the same pack. It's going to be way better. And with that, there's going to be a slight bump in reverse stellar hit rate going into LifeStream 2, which means that you'll be able to have and enjoy amazing reverse stellars across the board in our booster box experience and across all the packs that we release. I mentioned earlier being at the cutting edge of technology for trading card games, and I'm so excited to announce this because I really didn't think this was going to be possible for Elestrals for many years, but we are bringing textured foils, baby. Textured full art holos are coming to LifeStream. This is not a joke. It's happening in a big way, and I'm super stoked because textured holos are one of the most coveted things in trading card games, and it was not something we had access to with our prior manufacturers. But now that we are working with the all-star squad, textured holos are coming to LifeStream.
Wow.
Stay tuned for more updates soon. This is going to make those chase cards even better. This is our first production run here in the United States, so we're going to continue to improve upon the process each subsequent set. But I'm very excited for a lot of these changes coming to LifeStream. So just to recap, reverse holos in every single pack, full art hit rate increased to accommodate the smaller box size, reverse holo spirits instead of holo spirits now, reverse stellars getting a bump and going into the reverse holo slot, and textured holos, baby. One of my favorite products we've ever produced is our double starter deck bundle in Firestorm. I do have some unfortunate news. We will not be able to produce a double starter deck bundle moving into LifeStream. We'll actually be moving back to our prior structure of a single starter deck, 3 booster packs, and the playmat slash poster design going into a starter deck. And the new starter deck design is actually really nice.
Ooh, it's got the, like, I like that because I have the starter decks, like, two of them, like, having the box like this. I like that it's going to be coming up and over. I like that. Aphrodite.
It's a box that can be reclosed, so you can actually use it as kind of a temporary deck box as you kind of learn the game. I think it's going to be a great entry point for new players. Producing a double starter deck in the US just wasn't cost feasible for us at the scale we're at, but hopefully if we get much bigger, there's an opportunity for us to explore that in the future. Just right now, it wasn't something we can do, but you guys really liked our starter decks before they were double decks, so I'm really optimistic that it's going to still be an awesome experience, both for new players and veteran players alike, as we're going to load these up with staple cards and give you guys a great out-of-the-box experience. Lastly, our blister packs are changing quite a bit as well, as we are moving away from the plastic windows on the blister pack, and we're going to be shifting to a more standardized blister pack experience where it's a paper blister pack. There's going to be 2 packs inside and the stellar promo for you guys.
I love that. Ooh, look at that stellar. Look at that stellar hollow Leviathan. That's so cool. Yeah, I like this. I guess Artemis is going to be going up against one of these guys because I see her on this other one too. Spoiler alert. I like this. It looks so much better.
As well. So a lot of really exciting stuff there. That's going to retail at $11.99. So you're going to actually kind of get more for your bang for your buck. You're going to get 2 packs instead of 1. We're going to increase that price slightly to accommodate for the adjusted manufacturing cost and give a better experience overall for you guys. You should also be met with easier to open foil packs. And again, just better quality and randomization across the board. I'm expecting some serious elevations here for Elestrals, not just for LifeStream, but moving forward. I feel so happy and excited and just relieved that I am going to be partnering with a manufacturing partner and I never have to change again, guys. Like, this is it. We are locked in with the best team we possibly can be with, that has produced the best games in the world, that has gone through every challenge and experience and everything.
Now I get it. If he would have tried to join this manufacturer at the start with no equity in the no equity in the Electral's name, it would have been very difficult. They're expensive. So getting that first year and a half and first 5 sets in China and getting the name, getting some kind of equity in Elestrals and gets them on the map, definitely a good smart idea. And thankfully, he's moving over to the States.
They possibly could to make trading card games, and now we have them on our team to make the best game possible. I cannot emphasize how big of a deal this is. This is crazy. Like, I don't even know how this happened. This is crazy. Listen, change can be scary. It's been a really rough few months for me. This has been a very difficult decision to weigh over, but ultimately, costs aside, this team is insane. They are miles beyond what we've been doing before, and I am so optimistic and excited for the future. This is really going to set the stage for Elestrals for the long term. This is going to be incredible, guys. Like, I just can't even say it enough. It's going to be a really big deal. For those of you who have endured this entire update video, I don't want to leave you hanging. I'll give you a nice reveal for LifeStream. One of my favorite cards in the next set. Introducing Hopperoo. Hopperoo is...
Oh my god, that is a funny looking one. He is definitely Lumaru's Nexus form. When this Hopperoo deals damage, you can foretell 3 and add a Earth card foretold this way to your hand. While this Hopperoo is enchanted with exactly 1 spirit, it can attack opponent's spirit deck directly. So that is very cool. But yeah, Lumaru's got himself a nice little evolution Nexus. And we're actually kicking off with a new Elestral this time instead of like a old Elestral with a title and new effect.
It's a new Nexus form of Lumaroo and comes in as a 1-cost Earth Insectoid Elestral with 3 attack and 4 defense and a very cool effect. Hopperoo says that when this Hopperoo deals damage, you can foretell 3 and add an Earth card foretold this way to your hand. Now you might say, Dan, that doesn't sound that good. How am I going to be able to attack my opponent and deal damage with a 3 attacker with 4 defense? Well, Hopperoo happens to have a second effect as well. While this Hopperoo is enchanted with exactly 1 spirit, it can attack opponent's spirit decks directly. That's right, Hopperoo can attack directly and deal that 1 spirit of damage, and this card is a nightmare for opponents because they have to decide, well, do I want to use my PTA on it and it still can hit me directly? Do I want to shield this thing and then it'll hit me directly the next turn? Do I want to tsunami it and then I have to deal with its 4 defense? There's a lot of really interesting questions.
Yeah, and like if you have your Holy Forest on the field and they tsunami it, it's not a 4 defense anymore, it's a 5. So it's not getting off the field easily at all.
Marks that involved with Hopperoo. I think this card is going to be really fun for Earth decks, but you're going to get a lot of love here in this upcoming set. I can't thank you guys enough for taking this journey with me. It has been incredible, and the future is so bright for us guys. Like, I can't even express. I'm so stoked and proud to be producing Elestrals cards in the United States. I'm so stoked and proud to be raising the bar of our quality and showing you guys that I'm going to continue to invest in Elestrals. I'm here for the long haul. I'm here to make the best game in the world, and we're going to continue to take steps to doing just that. You hit me with a challenge like the global tariff situation, and I come out on the other side with massive W's for the Elestrals community, and this is just the beginning. Elestrals Day, July 31st, is when Elestrals LifeStream pre-orders are going to launch for everybody. It is going to be an incredible...
I fully expect July 31st is where we'll get more information on LifeStream, but getting Hopperoo, that's pretty cool. He definitely is going to make a lot of headaches for people who aren't Earthcasters. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's just so cool to be able to get that stuff to the States, be able to get himself locked down to having like the biggest long term plan. Because also another thing about China is you don't have that long term plan. Things happen over there. The manufacturer you had going down like goes down, and for some reason they have to switch around. It's just like take that stress out of there. Everything that has to do with the tariffs and everything out of there as well. And now he's set here full time, and it makes it a lot easier for everything in between. But I'll see you guys when we get ready for the live stream on Elestrals Day. More than likely, we're going to be seeing all the more information coming out on July 31st. Until then, my name's France, and I'll see you guys later.